The Machine Radio Show.
Hey, I am from it's a city, but it's really more like a small town, nestled comfortably in Christian County, Illinois. About the center of the state, maybe a little touch lower. Well, it's a bustling little community, but it wasn't always so. A few years ago, it was pretty much just like every other little town. It was, desolate. Lots of shops were closed. There was nothing going on. It was kind of boring. No real reason to come here. I mean, there's a couple of small reasons to come here, but really nothing was going on. Well, a few years ago, that changed. And suddenly, I started noticing things. See, I've been here for, I've lived here all my life, 43 years. And I noticed that the town was picking up. The town square was starting to look good. The buildings were being redone. Shops were starting to open. Like, there was nothing up there. And suddenly all these shops started propping up and everything. And there was car shows and farmers markets and all sorts of great things that were happening. Well, it turns out that there was an organization that said, well, we would like to see this town prosper. We live here too. Let's get this done. And they started doing that. Well, not too long after that, a few years, the city's like, well, man, why didn't we think of that? Geez, why didn't we think of that? So what we're going to do, since we help fund you, because there was a funding thing to help with the advertisement and everything else like that, to bring people into town. Well, they're like, well, if we're going to continue this, we need to be a part of it. Sounds an awful lot like a hijacking more than a helpful thing, but that's what government does. Well, when they found out that they couldn't hijack it, guess what they did? They stopped funding it. Coincidence, right? And then on the same day that they kept funding it, because they were tabling the motion to fund it for several meetings. But on the same day that they decided that they weren't going to fund it anymore, there was another guy in there going, "Hey, you know what we should do? We should start a tourism council." That's interesting. Well, there's a couple of aldermen on that board that are with this person. They act like they weren't. And they, they're like, yeah, you know what? We can do that. And by the way, we'll give you a little nest egg too. We'll give you some more money. By the way, we're still going to, table the other guys because we don't own them. So, yeah. So that happened. And, let's fast forward now. There's no funding. They cut the funding completely. And they want you to think that they're pulling the wool over your eyes. But, like I said, these two aldermen, well, they didn't necessarily hide their intentions. In fact, what this all comes down to is not just the fact that they didn't come up with it themselves, and so when they couldn't take that pie away from somebody, they wanted a piece of the pie, and when they couldn't forcibly take that piece of the pie, they're like, we're just going to make a pie of our own. They made it a little too obvious, and there was a pretty decent trail leading towards this. Well, we're sitting as we are now. But let me backtrack just a touch here, because I did mention the funding for this organization that basically brought the town back from the brink. All right. It's not just that. See, they seem to have this personal vendetta with one man, one guy. Yeah. And he was a part of a government board, an advisory committee. And, of course, the two aldermen that decided that they didn't want to fund this other organization and stuff. Well, coincidentally, they're like, well, you know what? We vote to dissolve the board. Because this gentleman that they were against was ahead of it. Oh, and we're still going to table, and we're not going to move forward with the funding of this other organization. Why? Because that guy was part of that too. So, yeah, it comes down to personal vendetta and jealousy. That's pretty much all it is. But just like anything else, when government gets involved, I don't care if it's the top tier government or if it's the lower government, when they get involved, things go to crap really fast. They would rather, and they have proven so, that they would rather vote to dissolve and regress the city than allow someone that wasn't them to take any sort of credit. I'm glad to be a part, or at least help out with the particular organization that this gentleman is on. Yeah, I actually pride myself on it. Because him and the people with him have done nothing but good for the community. They've brought back events, stores are opening up, people are actually talking about the town again from all around. And they cite this particular organization. So, to me, it seems like, they're wanting to make a cheap knockoff with a person that I don't believe is capable of doing so. Just to spite the person and the people that they're against, because, let's face it, I guess we're just, we're all disgusting and everything, so, But what I find disgusting is them wanting to regress and destroy all the work that's been done and take a crap on the people that support it. Because their job is literally to, I don't know, let's think about it here, do what their constituents tell them to. And as per the meetings, they were overwhelmingly shot down by the people. The rooms were always full with supporters of the group and not against the group. But they went ahead anyway. So, like I said, just like traditional government, higher up government, even your local governments get crap too. And we're stuck in it. But what I'm going to say is the organization is going to move forward. They're going to do better for the community. And I'm sure that that they're probably going to get pushed back. And I mean, I'm going to get pushed back from this video, and I really don't give a crap. Because, I just don't. But, well, here's to hoping that our town survives, does well. That's it. We'll see you guys later. Just wanted to fill you in a little bit. And you notice I didn't use names. I didn't use the names of organizations or anything else like that. But I'm sure with the fallout or anything, especially after this video, I'll probably end up doing so. Because they're not going to just sit back. I'm out. We'll see you.